Hello everyone, this is Gladys from Gladys Garden in Heart of a Gypsy. I come to you today to kind of show you a little bit of some of the things that I've been working on and that are part of a class that is coming up. We're shooting for, I think we said May 1st, I think we did. So we're still working on that at Craft Fusion down in Payson the Valley for us. And these are some of the products that we're going to be teaching in one day. So I'll pace you through it. We wanted to end up with 4 tags, larger tags, and 4 little, and I think 2 smaller ones, or something like that. But you know how I am, I always kind of change my mind at the last minute if I find something that catches my eye even more. But I want to show you some of these ones. They're pretty large tags. I think they're 4 1/4 by 8, I think. I got them. And this one is called You Taught Me How to Think Outside the Cage. And what this one is, the background is the manila tag, and I stamped it. So you don't see a lot of the stamp, but whatever you see, I like the addition to it. Kind of distress look to it. There is another little card on top of it, and on top of that I glued this picture of a mother and a daughter, and the little girl is about, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 years old, and the mother is kind of like talking to her. And over that I created, I cut the cage out of one of my let's see, AccuCut dies. It's kind of an old one. I haven't seen it around, so I don't know if it's retired or not. So I created the tag, or I'm sorry, the cage, and then I embossed it with obviously embossing powders. But I made it kind of thick, and then I started bending it as I was doing the embossing, because I didn't want it to break at the time when I was going to put it here. So it kind of takes a little bit of a practice, but we'll turn this into a kind of a technique tutorial for later on. And then the birds are, one is sitting, you know, here in the front, one on top of the cage, and one on top of the tag. And the cage has 2 of the bars broken, obviously, and I'll see if I can show it to you this way. There you go. You can see those, and they're kind of curled up, so they aren't supposed to be bent. So it's about, you know, don't always you know, take the easy route, and I don't know, it's a little bit of a thought too. So anyhow, this is one of the ones that are coming up, and then I made my own tab. I do have a tab maker, but I wanted something different for this. Let me see if you can see it better. There it is. See, against this you can see it pretty much better. And it's just different. And then I put the you know, the eyelet, or yeah, the eyelet over it. And then the back I just stamped it, bottom and top, and I thought it turned out really cute. Okay, my next one, I'm still growing on this one. It's not totally, you know, screaming at me, I love you yet, but it will. This is basically about this is really about technique, because I think a lot of times, you know, we end up buying a lot of the stickles, and then they either harden, or you know, they get just too dry, and then you have to throw them away or whatever. But you can do a lot with them, and you don't have to just put them on top of flowers like a lot of us do. I know I use them a lot in flowers too, but then I forget that you can actually draw with them. So what I did with this tag is again, it's a 4 1/4 by 8, and what I did, I stamp with this stamp that has flowers that they're not very big, but kind of in a collage form. So I stamped all around it, so you can hardly see that. But that wasn't, you know, that's not the important part in the card. I just wanted the design, and then utilize those as my markers to use my stickles. So you really can see that there are flowers and stuff, but it's really how it turned out to be. Basically, and it's kind of hard to appreciate in camera. I get that, but oh well. This is a stamp that I have that it's like I don't know, like a canvas type of thing that you would hang on the wall, but it's a stamp, so that's the illusion of it. So I put that in the middle, and again I went over some with the stickles, with the blue stickles. This one is another stamp that I have. It's a hibiscus flower, and there's a butterfly, you know, sitting on it. So I kind of took that theme, and it just wasn't talking to me too much after that. So I said, you know, what else can I do without making me completely abhorrent or something that I'm not going to be happy about? It had to be something subtle and something that would still catch your attention. So I ended up making these little bitty butterflies. Let me see if you can see. You can see them right there. Hopefully, there you go. There's one. There, see? So they are cut with this very small punch that I have. It's just a baby butterfly, and as soon as I cut it out of acetate, it kind of has to be thin acetate because the punch is so small. Anyhow, so I punched them out and then just held them from the wings and just make a crease in the middle so they have the folded feel to it. But I think before that, I also alcohol inked them, and that's the only way acetate would get, you know, the color would stay on them. So I used kind of I don't know which ones I used, but I know I used kind of an orangey and then also a burgundy color one. I wouldn't even know the names by now, but I wanted to get to this point, you know, that you see right there, and I liked the color. And then after I had alcohol inked them, I started to, you know, kind of see where I was going to put them. And what I found out is that you have to actually put the glue on the area that you're going to put the butterfly over, because the acetate is so thin that the minute it touches the hot glue, it'll just disintegrate. And I kind of messed up a couple of them. So what I did is, look, I still have spider webs in here from the hot glue. I put the glue onto the area where I was going to adhere the butterfly, and then after that I just kind of let it cool off enough so that acetate wouldn't melt, but it's not hard enough either that you couldn't, you know, adhere the acetate butterfly. And that's how I did it. So it was kind of a hit and miss. And then after that, just I used a little bit of my gold leaf paint. And I just went over the middle and just a little bit on the edges. And you know what? I ended up liking it a little bit more. So anyhow, sorry for that noise. My kids are over there kind of tumbling the house. Let's see, there it is. You can see them. So that's another one that we're going to be, you know, working over there at the store. I'm not sure if I'm going to do a tutorial on that, since everybody knows how to do that pretty much. Give me just a second here. Sorry, I had to go and check out that the house was still, you know, in one piece with all my kiddos, and you know how it is. Anyhow, so my next project that I'm going to be showing you, and I will do a tutorial with this one ahead of time, and but I know this is going to be a class over there at Craft Fusion. Okay, so this is a teapot, and it's from an AccuCut die that I also have, and it is the jumbo size. As you can tell, it's pretty big. It's pretty wide and quite tall too. And these ones are going to be also on my Etsy, the actual dies or cut dies. So if you could, you know, you want to do them as an album, so I'll have kits for the albums, and then I'll have kits or just the cut dies on their own too. Then I have another album, or I'm sorry, not album, die that I bought. It's pretty old. It's from Sizzix, I think. You don't see it around too much, but it has this large flower, and with this little hinge here, and it comes with just a round also. So I just used the one for the flower, and I put them all together in here. Okay, so just a different way of doing a little album. And then also, let me see if I can bring this in, zoom it, so you can see the technique on the lady, on the face of the lady. So here it is. See if I can turn it this way. There it is, a little better. Okay, so what I did with her, I used the same technique that I used on my gatefold album, the one with a clock. And a lot of people ask about how to do that technique, so we'll have a little tutorial. When I do this little album online, or the tutorial for it, you'll go ahead and learn that same technique. So it's it's kind of thick, you know, if you would feel it, it's really thick, and there is cracks to it, but at the same time it's smooth. It's kind of a weird, because I use two products that, you know, I don't think anybody has combined them before, but me, knowing me, that, you know, I can never take no for an answer. I always have to go the left way, whatever. So anyhow, I ended up with that and I really liked it. Made two little flowers out of the leftover papers that I had from, you know, what I used to cover this pieces. I don't know the name either, so I'll just show them to you next time. So as you open them, because they do flip back, you know, you have to kind of put the stuff backwards, you can say. So every time that you flip a page, you're able to see it properly. Instead of doing this every time, you can just do it once, and you're in the right way. Excuse me. I stamped each one. I also used my matte, I didn't have matte medium, I had the matte glossy. I'm not as crazy about that as much, but that's all I had. Excuse me. Let me have something to drink here. Oh my goodness, I'm losing my voice there. Okay, so, and then I put a picture of a mother and daughter there. And this one too, and I did some stamping in the back. And let's see if I can zoom out, sorry. I forgot that I had zoomed in too much. So here, there's a stamp, and then here's a stamp behind it, a picture. And these pictures are not obviously glued to the page, because whenever they get to the class, they'll get that ephemera, but you know, whether they'll use it. Pardon me, I don't know, I got like dust in my throat. So they might want to put their own pictures in. Obviously that's okay. So I wasn't able to glue them. So they all have a little picture, okay, right there. And then at the edges, obviously I used my gold leaf paint, which I think I've told you about to you guys for a while, that it's really good paint. It's beautiful. It has a very rich gold to it, and it comes in different tones. I believe what I used in this was brass, but you know, I could be wrong. I own pretty much all of them. Well, I'm lying. I don't have the chrome and or silver, so I'm looking for those two. They seem to be a hot commodity that I can't find them. I find all the other ones. So let's see what else. So that was basically it. I covered the edges. So I wanted to kind of show a kind of a rich field to it, kind of a, you know, it's worth your while, and it's very simple to make, and I think it turned out really beautiful. This is from Tim Holtz, one of his little squirrely dies that he has, and just a regular ring, but I also covered it or painted it with a gold leaf. And then in the back I put one of you know, Tim Holtz I don't know, photo, I don't know, what do you, trapeze that you want to call it. So then this baby can stay up, you know, anywhere that you want to put it on. So that's basically it. So my next project that I also have, that is going to be for the same day, we're planning to have like a whole day of many little things. And I thought that was a really good idea. Because a lot of times I've done classes in which it's only just one little thing, and not a lot of people show up because maybe there's not much interest in one item. But this one, in this case, you're going to get about 6 items, and it's going to be one day, and affordable and good variety. Okay, so this one I don't know what it is, but I know it came out of left field for me, and I really like it. Let's see if I can zoom less. There you go. I was very pleased. It has a little bit of an Oriental, Asian theme to it. I don't know, Middle Eastern, Hindu, maybe. I don't know, but I really liked it, okay? So I'll tell you how I started. I had this piece of paper or chipboard that I can't even remember what it measures, but I can tell you it's about, I think it's 6 by 6. Yeah, it's a 6 by 6 piece, and I really did not know where I was going with it. And as I started doing some things to it, I did some of the distressing. I put some gesso on it, and you know, different things, and just nothing was talking to me. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know about this. And somehow I was playing. I had this piece of paper, this ephemera, right next to me here, and as I was thinking what was I going to do with this, I was grabbing the piece of paper and I was just playing with it. Literally, I had one of these skewers. And I was just playing, and I went like this, and I was, literally, that's what happened. And I went like this, and it kind of rolled, and I'm like, oh, I like that. So I started rolling that one, and then I started looking, and I actually used a bunch of old ephemera. I have a box of like old books that I've torn up to do other projects, but I saved the pages. So I did that. I used them. Now, I'm not the one that invented this. I know I've seen other people do that. I just wasn't intended to do that this time, and just by accident it kind of came to me, and I'm pretty happy with it. So I ended up doing my roly-polies, whatever you want to call them, all the way across, and I did it in a diagonal way, and I didn't distress them too much. I did put a little bit of I used that I think it's distressed wine. Yeah, it's distressed wine embossing powder by Stupendous, and that's the one I used to have that little background, so that little purple there just kind of, you know, flare things from one to the other. And then I had cut some teapots for someone that wanted to see some of the dies online on my Etsy. So I had cut a couple of them for them to see, and so they were laying around here, and that's how the whole thing came together, really. This clock, I already had it embossed. It's not like I embossed it for it, but I started grabbing one thing, led to the other, and this is what I ended up with. So up to yesterday, I didn't have this. It was just plain like this. And I did like it, don't get me wrong. But I felt like I'm lacking something. And I used the Tim Holtz on the edge dies. The one that has that little, you know, this one. I mean, I could get it, but I don't want to. Anyhow, so you know how those dies have like two sides to them, so I used the other one to create this, you know, this. When you cut this piece, you'll get this other one, or it's vice versa. When you cut this piece, you'll be left over with the opposite of it, in other words. So I painted that in gold, put it on the bottom, and then also did the edges with gold. So the whole thing kind of came together truly by accident, and I thought it ended up being a beautiful little canvas. So I know it's not a 6 by 10 or 10. No, 6 by 10. So it turned out to be not so small, but truly it was easy to do, and I thought it was quite cute. So these are some of the things that are coming up in our class, and hopefully soon enough in a tutorial. So, but thanks, my friends. I just wanted to kind of give you a heads up on some of the things that will be happening soon, and hopefully you'll be able to meet me here again. Okay? Well, you guys have a great night or day, depends where you are. So, toodaloo. Bye.